In the autumn of 2021, a young teacher named Claire was assigned to a remote village in Eastern Europe called Rosenwald. The village sat at the edge of a vast forest, nearly forgotten by time. Power outages were frequent, and internet access was almost non-existent. But what disturbed Claire the most was that she woke up every night at exactly 3:33 a.m. Not a minute before, not a minute after. Always 3:33. One night, just like the others, Claire suddenly woke up. Her room was freezing. Her breath was visible in the air. She pulled the blanket tighter and tried to go back to sleep. But something felt wrong. She felt watched. Slowly, she turned her head toward the window. Just outside the glass, a tall, unmoving figure stood. Its face was unclear, but its eyes were glowing. It didn't move. It just stared. Claire tried to scream, but no sound came. Her body felt completely paralyzed. The figure slowly stepped back and vanished into the dark. The next day, Claire went to see an old woman in the village named Agatha. She described what had happened. Agatha listened quietly, then simply said, "Don't go into the attic, child. That place was sold long ago. Some things are meant to stay forgotten." That night, once again at 3:33 a.m., Claire woke up, but this time she heard scratching sounds from above her. At first, she thought it might be rats, but the noise was too steady, too intentional, as if someone was clawing at the wooden floorboards. At daybreak, Claire climbed up to the attic. The air was thick with dust. Cobwebs clung to every corner, but one of the walls, scratched into the wood by his fingernails, was a sentence. "Don't close your eyes at 3:33. That evening, Claire was brushing her hair when she noticed something in the mirror. Behind her, in the corner of the room, a black figure stood silently. She turned around, nothing. Back to the mirror. The figure was still there watching. Terrified, she fled to the village school, the night court. Samuel let her in and gave her a cup of tea. As she recounted what she had seen, his face grew pale. "The teacher before you," he said slowly, "also woke up at 3:33. He spoke of shadows. Then one morning he didn't show up for class. When we checked his house, we found something written on the wall." Claire whispered, "What did it say?" Samuel hesitated, then answered, "It saw me." That night, Claire decided to sleep in the school building, thinking she'd be safe, but at 3:33 a.m., the power went out. The backup generator stopped working. The classroom window cracked violently. Claire turned her head, and this time, the figure was not outside. It was inside the room. She couldn't move, couldn't speak. The black figure slowly approached. Its face remained hidden, but its eyes, they weren't human. They were endless, empty voids, black holes. Claire collapsed. Her vision faded to black. She was found the next morning, unconscious, behind the school. Her eyes were bloodshot, her tongue stuck to the roof of her mouth. She didn't speak for months. They sent her to a psychiatric hospital in Winham. She remained silent until one visit from her sister. "Just once," she whispered. "It's still there, in the shadows, don't look away." They say Claire's old house in Rosenwald still stands, abandoned. No one goes near it, but sometimes, on cold nights at exactly 3:33 a.m., a figure can be seen at the window, watching from within, and anyone who dares to get close always says the same thing: "It saw me." Sometimes the last place a person is seen stays hidden forever. This is the story of a disappearance that took place in the mountains of Chile, and to this day it remains unsolved. They say a young woman entered a tunnel and was never seen again. The year was 2004 in a small town near the Osorno region of southern Chile. 27 years old Cecilia Torres was a nature lover and amateur photographer. She was passionate about exploring old railways, abandoned structures, and misty forests. Often she would wander off alone for hours, losing herself in the silence. One day, she set out to photograph a place the locals avoided, an old, sealed-off train tunnel known as El Túnel del Diablo, or the Devil's Tunnel. Rumor had it that inside the tunnel, time flowed differently, sounds grew muffled, and people lost their sense of direction. Locals warned each other to never go near it, especially alone. But Cecilia didn't believe in ghost stories. That morning, she packed her bag and set off with her camera, tripod, and voice recorder. And at 10 a.m., a security camera captured her entering the tunnel. It would be the last time anyone saw her. When she didn't return home that night, her family contacted the police. The next day, search teams arrived at the tunnel. Fresh footprints were found near the entrance, about 80 meters inside. Searchers found her backpack, tripod, and camera. The camera was still on. The last photo showed the far end of the tunnel, barely visible in the distance. A faint, shadowy figure stood in the darkness. The tripod had been broken, but there were no signs of a struggle. No blood, no torn clothes, no drag marks, nothing. Inside her backpack was the voice recorder. Only one press had been recorded. The voices are calling me. After that, nothing. When news of the case spread, theories emerged. Some claimed Cecilia had gotten lost or collapsed due to low oxygen. Others suspected someone else had been in the tunnel, someone hiding in the dark. But the most chilling theory came from the locals. Cecilia had found something in that tunnel, something you couldn't see, something you couldn't touch, but something that could still take you. Since that day, no one has entered the tunnel alone. The villagers now say it isn't just a tunnel, it's a boundary between two worlds, between what we know and what we can't explain. And Cecilia Torres, still missing. Her body was never found. No further trace. It's as if she stepped inside and crossed over into something else. She never came out of the tunnel, and now that tunnel feels like a door that leads nowhere. Sometimes you search for someone, but in the forest, something else is watching you. This is the story of a hike in 2009, a journey that was never complete. The year was 2009, location Washington State, USA. 28 years old Derek Hansen was a nature enthusiast who loved solitude. To escape work stress, he often hiked mountain trails, camped, and stayed away from people for days. His last route was a deep forest trail locals warned never to hike alone, Black Hollow Trail. It was a hiking path, but had old, unmarked trails, misty valleys, and unnamed lakes. Native American tribes once called this area the road with no return. Before leaving, Derek left a voice note on his phone. I'm heading to Black Hollow today. The weather's cloudy, but the view is nice. The silence is strange, not even a bird signs. I will record more on my way back. This message was recorded on September 14 at 9:23 a.m. After that, no one heard from Derek again. The next day, his family reported him missing. Search teams found his car parked where he had left it. Inside were food and water. He planned to return. Teams followed the trail. At the 6th kilometer, they found Derek's backpack. Inside, the notebook was missing. Its pages had been torn out. At the back, a hastily written sentence remained. There is someone among the trees, but they have no shadow. Police found Derek's last voice recording on his phone. It was damaged, but some words were audible. It's following me whenever I turn. It stands frozen, but I can't see it. I just feel it. The recording ended abruptly with a whisper, "Don't turn." Derek's body was never found apart from his phone and notebook. No trace remained. Weeks later, a park ranger walking Black Hollow noticed Derek's shoe on a rock at the 9th kilometer, near a cliff edge. Oddly, the soil inside the shoe was completely dry and dustless, as if placed recently. Locals speak of Black Hollow's guardian, a shadowless entity moving among the trees, stealing your sense of direction. It rearranges everything you see but never lets you see it. Some believe it's a supernatural protector. Others say it erases those who lose their way. Since then, entering Black Hollow alone has been officially banned. Yet some brave adventurers still venture in. Some return, but some, just like Derek, get lost among the trees.